Have you ever noticed how the smallest habits, like how much water you drink, how often you stretch, or whether you pause to breathe, can completely change the way your body feels? For women over 60, those little habits are not just about general wellness, they are the foundation of your intimate health. I'm Dr. Lisa Perriera, a gynecologist with over 30 years of experience. And today, I want to share with you the natural self-care habits that protect your intimate health after menopause. These are not expensive treatments or complicated routines. They're simple, science-backed choices that any woman can start today in the comfort of her own home. The problem is, so many women believe that after 60, nothing they do can really make a difference. They think dryness, discomfort, or loss of intimacy are inevitable. But let me tell you, I've seen firsthand that this is simply not true. With the right habits, your body can respond at any age. Let me give you an example. A patient of mine, Teresa, age 67, came in feeling hopeless. She told me, "Doctor, I think my body just doesn't work anymore." She was dealing with constant dryness, no interest in intimacy, and embarrassment about leakage when she laughed or coughed. She thought her only options were medications she didn't want to take, or simply living with it. But when we shifted her focus to small, natural self-care habits, hydration, daily pelvic floor exercises, gentle moisturizing, and regular movement, everything changed. 3 months later, she looked at me and said, "I feel like myself again. Not younger, just more alive." And she's not alone. According to the National Institutes of Health, lifestyle habits, like hydration exercise and balanced nutrition, play a major role in reducing intimate discomfort and improving circulation after menopause. In fact, women who maintain consistent self-care routines report not only better physical health, but also improved confidence and emotional well-being. Think of it like tending a garden. If you water it regularly, nourish the soil, and give it sunlight, it flourishes even after many seasons. But if you neglect it or care for it in the wrong way, it wilts. Your body is that garden. The right self-care habits are the water, sunlight, and nourishment that keep it blooming no matter your age. So in this episode, we're going to explore the 5 natural self-care habits every woman over 60 should know. We'll talk about hydration and nutrition, gentle moisturizers, pelvic floor exercises, movement that supports circulation, and the role of intimacy itself in keeping your body strong. Along the way, I'll share patient stories, medical insights, and practical tips you can apply starting today. Before we dive in, I want you to ask yourself, which small daily habits do you already practice for your intimate health? And which ones have you neglected without even realizing it? Share your thoughts in the comments. You may be surprised how much your words resonate with another woman who feels she's alone in this journey. And stay with me, because what you're about to learn might just transform the way you see self-care, not as something optional or indulgent, but as the very foundation of your health, intimacy, and dignity after 60. The first habit, and perhaps the simplest of all, is hydration and nutrition that support circulation. So many women tell me they drink coffee or tea all day, but very little plain water. What they don't realize is that hydration is not just about quenching thirst, it's about keeping tissues throughout your body, including your intimate skin, supple and resilient. According to the Mayo Clinic, dehydration is a major contributor to vaginal dryness, urinary discomfort, and even fatigue. When your body doesn't have enough water, your tissues lose elasticity, becoming fragile and more prone to micro tears. I once treated a woman named Margaret, 70, who complained of constant irritation. She carried a water bottle with her, but when I asked what was inside, she laughed and said, "Doctor, it's sweet tea, not water." That was her daily habit for decades. When we worked together, to gradually replace some of those sweet teas with water and added foods rich in omega-3s like salmon and flaxseed, her symptoms eased within weeks. She told me I never imagined something as simple as water could change the way my body feels. That's the power of habit. Nutrition is equally important. The National Institutes of Health points out that omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin E, and phytoestrogens found in foods like flax soy and nuts can improve circulation and tissue health. These nutrients act almost like natural moisturizers from the inside out. Think of it like tending to the soil of a garden. If the soil is rich, the flowers thrive. If it's depleted, the flowers wilt, no matter how much you water them. The second habit that makes a world of difference is gentle moisturizing. Many women carefully moisturize their face and hands, but never consider moisturizing their intimate skin. Yet after menopause, when estrogen drops, these tissues lose elasticity and become more vulnerable to dryness and irritation. Moisturizing is not a luxury, it's essential care. I remember Sandra, 68, who came to me embarrassed about ongoing discomfort. She said, "Doctor, I feel silly asking, but is there such a thing as lotion for down there?" I smiled and reassured her yes, and it can make all the difference. We chose a simple, fragrance-free, water-based vaginal moisturizer. Within weeks, Sandra said she felt like she had new skin. She could sit comfortably, exercise again, and even rediscover intimacy without fear. The Cleveland Clinic emphasizes that using vaginal moisturizers a few times a week can restore elasticity, reduce microtears, and improve daily comfort. And this isn't about youthfulness, it's about dignity. It's about being able to move through your day without discomfort holding you back. I often compare moisturizing to oiling a wooden door hinge. Without oil, the hinge squeaks, grinds, and eventually rusts. With regular oil, it moves smoothly for years. Your tissues after menopause are no different. They need that gentle support to move and stretch without pain. Together, hydration and moisturizing form the foundation of intimate self-care. One works from the inside, the other from the outside. Combined, they provide resilience, comfort, and protection that no medication alone can offer. So here's a reflection for you. When was the last time you truly paid attention to how much water you drink each day, or considered moisturizing your intimate skin as carefully as you moisturize your face? If your answer is rarely or never, you're not alone. Many women discover these habits only later in life. But the good news is, it's never too late to begin. I'd love to hear from you which feels easier for you to start today, drinking more water or adding a gentle moisturizer to your routine. Share in the comments, and you may inspire another woman who's hesitant to take her first step. And stay with me, because the next habits we'll explore are not just about physical comfort. They strengthen your body's foundation and even improve intimacy in ways you might not expect. The third habit is one that many women overlook, yet it is absolutely vital: pelvic floor exercises. Your pelvic floor muscles form the foundation of your core. They support your bladder, uterus, and rectum, and they play a crucial role in both continence and intimacy. But after menopause, these muscles weaken, especially if they're ignored. This can lead to urinary leakage, pelvic organ prolapse, and even loss of sensation. According to the Mayo Clinic, strengthening the pelvic floor through simple exercises like Kegels can significantly improve control, reduce leakage, and even enhance pleasure. And here's the best part: they require no special equipment, no gym membership, and no expensive classes. You can do them while brushing your teeth, watching TV, or even sitting at a red light. I'll never forget a patient named Linda, age 72. She came to me whispering, "Doctor, I don't go out with friends anymore because I'm afraid of accidents. I feel trapped in my own house." Her confidence was crumbling, not because of illness, but because of weakened muscles. I taught her a simple routine, 3 sets of 10 Kegels each day, holding for 5 seconds at a time. At first, she doubted it could help, but after a few months, she proudly told me I went to my granddaughter's recital and laughed the whole evening without worrying once. That small daily habit gave her back her freedom. I often compare pelvic floor care to maintaining the foundation of a house. If the foundation cracks, it doesn't matter how beautiful the paint or furniture is, the house becomes unstable. Strengthening your pelvic floor is repairing and protecting that foundation. The fourth habit is equally important movement that supports circulation. Too often, women think exercise after 60 has to be intense to be worthwhile. But the truth is, gentle, consistent movement is what your body needs most. Walking, yoga, tai chi, or even simple stretching increases blood flow throughout your body, including to your pelvic region. And better circulation means healthier tissues, reduced dryness, and stronger muscles. The National Institutes of Health notes that regular physical activity not only lowers risks of heart disease and osteoporosis, but also helps maintain intimate health by promoting oxygen and nutrient flow to tissues. Think of it as a natural pump, delivering life to the areas that need it most. One of my patients, Anne, 69, had stopped all exercise because of joint pain. She told me I feel stiff, heavy, and older than my age. We worked together to create a gentle routine, a 15-minute walk after breakfast, a few yoga stretches before bed. Within 2 months, she came back with brighter eyes and lighter steps. She said, "Doctor, I don't just feel better. I feel like my body woke up again." And the bonus: her intimate discomfort improved too. Movement isn't only about muscles and bones, it's about circulation, energy, and vitality. I often use the analogy of a stream. When water flows steadily, it stays clear and nourishing. But when it stagnates, it grows cloudy and lifeless. Your circulation works the same way. Consistent movement keeps the stream flowing, carrying oxygen and nutrients to your tissues, so they remain alive and healthy. Together, pelvic floor exercises and movement form a powerful duo. One strengthens the foundation from within, while the other keeps the lifeblood flowing through every corner of your body. They require no expensive tools, only your willingness to start. So here's what I'd like you to consider. Do you think your biggest challenge is strength, or is it circulation? In other words, do you feel you need to build your foundation or to get your blood flowing? Share your thoughts in the comments, because identifying your starting point is the first step toward lasting change. And stay with me, because in the next habit, we'll explore something many women shy away from, but it just might be the key to keeping your body alive, confident, and connected. The fifth habit may surprise you, because it's something many women after 60 quietly give up on: gentle intimacy and touch. I want to be clear. Intimacy doesn't have to mean intercourse. It can be as simple as holding hands, gentle, caressing self-pleasure, or rediscovering closeness with your partner in new ways. What matters is that intimacy keeps blood flowing to your pelvic region, supports tissue health, and reinforces your sense of connection with your own body. The Cleveland Clinic emphasizes that regular stimulation, even in small amounts, helps prevent tissue thinning and maintains elasticity. In other words, using your body keeps it alive and responsive. Yet too often women avoid intimacy out of embarrassment, fear of pain, or the belief that it no longer matters at my age. Let me tell you about Rosa, a patient of mine who was 70 when she came to see me. She had been widowed for over a decade and told me quietly, "Doctor, I haven't even thought about intimacy in years. I feel invisible." She assumed that chapter of her life was over. But when I asked if she would be open to rediscovering her body in gentle, private ways, she hesitated, then nodded. We created a plan: hydration, moisturizing, pelvic floor exercises, and just a few minutes of self-touch each week, not as an obligation, but as an act of kindness to herself. 3 months later, Rosa walked into my office transformed. Her hair was styled, her cheeks flushed, her eyes bright. She said, "Dr. Perriera, I didn't realize how much I missed feeling connected to myself. I thought intimacy was about someone else. But now I feel alive again." For her, intimacy was no longer about sex. It was about remembering she was still a vibrant, worthy woman. Science supports Rosa's transformation. Regular intimacy, whether shared or solo, triggers the release of oxytocin and endorphins, the feel-good hormones that reduce stress, ease, pain, and elevate mood. According to the Mayo Clinic, women who maintain intimacy after menopause report higher levels of happiness, improved circulation, and even lower risks of certain chronic conditions. Intimacy, then, isn't frivolous. It's medicine. I often explain it this way. Think of your intimate health as a violin. If the instrument is left untouched for years, the strings stiffen, the sound fades, and the music is lost. But if you play it gently, consistently, the violin stays tuned, alive, and capable of creating beauty. Your body works the same way. Intimacy, whether with yourself or a partner, keeps the strings of your body tuned and responsive. Of course, many women feel hesitant to talk about this. Some feel shame, others fear judgment, and many assume it's too late. But let me assure you, it is never too late to reconnect with your body. Gentle intimacy is not about chasing youth. It's about honoring the woman you are today, alive, present, and deserving of comfort and joy. So I want to ask you something personal. When you think of intimacy, now do you see it only as something from the past? Or could you begin to imagine it as part of your present and future? Share your reflections in the comments if you feel comfortable. Your courage might inspire another woman who has been silent for too long. And stay with me, because in the final part of this episode, we'll bring all 5 habits together, recap the lessons we've learned, and talk about how small daily choices can create a lifetime of health, dignity, and confidence. We've journeyed through 5 natural, powerful habits, together habits that protect not just your intimate health, but your confidence and joy as a woman over 60. Let's take a moment to bring it all together. The first habit was hydration and nutrition. We learned that water and nutrient-rich foods like salmon, flaxseed, and nuts aren't just good for your heart or your skin. They directly support tissue health, reduce dryness, and keep your body's garden nourished from the inside out. The second habit was gentle moisturizing. Just as you care for your hands and face, your intimate skin deserves that same respect. Moisturizing restores elasticity, prevents micro tears, and allows you to move through your day with comfort and dignity. The third habit was pelvic floor exercises. These simple movements strengthen the foundation of your body, helping you regain control, reduce leakage, and restore sensation. They are a 5-minute gift you can give yourself each day, one that pays dividends in freedom and confidence. The fourth habit was movement that supports circulation. From walking to yoga to gentle stretching, every step keeps your blood flowing like a clear stream, delivering life and energy to your tissues. Movement isn't about chasing youth. It's about keeping your body alive and responsive at any age. And finally, the fifth habit was gentle intimacy and touch. Not as something you owe to anyone else, but as a way to stay connected with your body, release feel-good hormones, and remind yourself that intimacy belongs to every stage of life, including yours. Together, these 5 habits form a circle of care, nourishment, from the inside, protection on the outside, strength in your foundation. flow through your circulation, and connection through intimacy. Each habit supports the others, and when practiced consistently, they transform the way you feel in your body. Think back to the stories we shared, Teresa, who thought her body was failing but found new life through hydration and movement. Sandra, who discovered comfort through moisturizing. Linda, who regained her freedom with pelvic floor exercises. Anne, who found energy again through walking. Rosa, who rediscovered her spark with gentle intimacy. These women are proof that change is possible. They didn't need expensive treatments or complicated routines. They needed awareness, consistency, and compassion for themselves. I often say this: aging doesn't mean decline. It means adapting with wisdom. And wisdom tells us that small daily choices matter far more than dramatic interventions. Your body listens to the way you care for it, every sip of water, every stretch, every gentle touch. So here's my challenge for you. Choose one of these 5 habits and begin today. Don't wait for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is only now and the gift of one small step. Maybe it's pouring a glass of water. Maybe it's applying a moisturizer tonight. Maybe it's pausing for a set of Kegels before bed. Whatever you choose, let it be your first step toward lasting comfort and confidence. And I'd love to hear from you which of these 5 habits feels most doable for you right now, and which one feels like the biggest challenge. Share your thoughts in the comments, because your honesty might give another woman the courage to begin. If this video has been valuable to you, I invite you to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. In our next episode, we'll talk about how self-care doesn't just protect your body, but also boosts intimacy and confidence in ways you may not have imagined. And before we close, let me remind you, this video is for educational purposes only. It does not replace medical advice. Every woman's body is unique. If you are experiencing pain, significant changes, or have personal concerns, please consult with your healthcare provider. Your well-being deserves personalized care.